Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel for an in-depth look at Valheim. I'll cover the cost of the game, some of its main selling points and mechanics, as well as whether I ultimately think that it's worth your money. The reception for these has been pretty good in the past, so if you do find that this video was useful, consider leaving it a like and subscribing to the channel for more reviews, gameplay, updates, and tips. I also stream on Twitch daily, which you'll see on your screen now. So, with that out of the way, let's start by explaining the basic concept of Valheim. Essentially, Valheim is designed to be a co-op experience heavily based on survival, crafting, and progression. Currently, the game is priced at $20 US. It's best played with a friend or two, but is totally playable solo as well, and the max player count is currently 10. You play a fierce Viking warrior that has fallen on the battlefield, now finding themselves in purgatory for the amusement of the gods. The experience is heavily PvE focused, with several boss fights lining your path to Viking glory, each with their own mechanics and strategy. I've sunk just shy of 10 hours of playtime into Valheim at the time of making this video, and so far I've only taken on the first boss. PvP can be activated, but it requires consent from both players before combat can commence. Interestingly, the boss fights themselves are actually tied into the crafting and progression aspect as well. For example, the first boss fight will get you access to the materials used to craft your first pickaxe. This will then prompt you to travel to a different area of the map entirely, where ore can be found specifically. Features like these constantly give you goals to shoot for, driving you forward in your crafting whilst pushing you to explore the map at the same time. Honestly, it's a pretty slick and seamless way of making the player explore various aspects of the game without making you feel like you're on rails or suffering from a grinding experience. Crafting, farming, and hunting are all integral to your journey through Valheim, not just combat. The map itself is procedurally generated, making for a different experience with each world you create. Characters can be transferred between worlds, or you can make a new one specifically for a world of your choice, so that's a nice option to have there as well. I'm not quite sure how large the map actually is, but its scale feels huge, with several different biomes like swamps, forests, and oceans with their own underground crypts and caves as well. Just to give you an idea of the map size, I've grabbed a little snippet from the in-game map screen and how much I've discovered in 10 hours of playtime. Like I said, it feels like a huge world to be in. The graphic style of Valheim is charming and unique, which is something I can't say for many survival games nowadays. The lighting is expertly done, really helping to emphasize the impact of the dimly lit swamp areas or an oceanside sunrise. Base building is straightforward, with no evident flaws that I've found inside the first 10 hours or so of gameplay, allowing for both snapping of objects and free placement. Ground can be leveled, removed, or raised for a range of projects, with an absolute plethora of decorative options for those avid base builders out there that will want to build a Viking longhouse fit for Thor himself. The combat system is pretty simple, perhaps in need of some development, but it does feel weighted and impactful, which is something I really look for in games like this. There's also a variety of weapons to choose from, like hammers, daggers, swords, or axes. Your movements need to be decisive. Actions can take a couple of seconds to complete, so you really need to think about those dodges and blocks in amongst your attacks, and all of this will drain stamina. Run out of stamina and you're going to be in a bad spot when you get hit. You won't get anywhere spamming left click, especially once you start to fight larger groups of mobs. At first, it might seem like the variety of AI isn't too diverse, but as you start to travel through new areas, you'll find different opponents to go up against and test your skills, with a range of bosses as well. We even bumped into a serpent during our first trip on a raft, very nearly sending us to the depths before our journey was even complete. Every excursion leaves you at risk. In the 10 hours of gameplay I've had, I feel like I've only scratched the surface of Valheim, and I absolutely can't wait to dive further into the experience. It's been a long while since I've seen a survival game this well developed at the Steam early access stage of development, and that is very refreshing. For the price, I really don't think that any survival fan could go wrong with this game. For me, it's definitely worth a buy, and I'm looking forward to seeing it develop in the future. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one.